these are the most basic derivative rules. So let's start with the first rule. The first rule is called power rule. We have d dx. d dx is the derivative with respect to x raised to the nth power. That is n times x raised to the n minus 1. So what you have to do is you bring the power down to the front and then you take the power minus 1. It's very basic. So let's do a couple of examples. So we have f of x. Let's say we have x to the 10th power, and then the derivative f prime of x, you bring the 10 down, and then x raised to the 10 minus 1. So that is 10x to the 9th power. You have g of x equals to square root of x, which is x raised to the 1/2 power, right? And then g prime of x, you bring the 1/2 down, and then 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. So that is 1 divided by 2 times square root of x. So that's how the power rule works. The constant rule, so the constant, I spelled the constant wrong, so let's fix that. So for constant is the derivative with respect to x of c is equals to 0. So this is the derivative of a constant value equals to 0. So constant rule. Examples can be like y is equals to 6. So y prime is equals to 0. Y equals to 6 is one horizontal line, right? At y equals to 6. So the line is not going up, not going down. It's one horizontal line. So that's why the slope is equals to 0. You can have f of x equals to 10. So f prime of x is equals to 0. So basically what that means is the slope of a horizontal line is equals to 0. The slope of a horizontal line is equals to 0. So y equals to 6, y equals to 10, or even though you have y equals to negative 1000, the derivative of that is just a 0. And then the next one is constant multiple rule. This time you have a constant in front of the xn, so all you have to do is you push the constant aside, take the n down, and then you have n minus 1. So examples, we have f of x equals to negative 3, x to the 7th power, and then f prime of x, you push the negative 3 over there, bring the 7 down, x to the 7 minus 1, then you have negative 21, x to the 6th power. It is just that easy. And then the sum rule, so we have the derivative of f plus g, that is the derivative of f plus the derivative g. For the difference rule, you change the plus to a minus. So let's do an example. So let's say we have f of x equals to negative 6x and then plus x to the 1/2. So we have two terms adding together, and then f prime of x. So the derivative of negative 6, so this is a linear function, right? If you just look at this term itself, negative 6x is linear. The slope is equals to negative 6. Or you can draw a 1 right over here. So what you have to do is you take the 1 down and then x to the 1 minus 1. And then you take the 1/2 down, x to the 1/2 minus 1, and then you have a negative 6 plus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. Okay, and then for the minus, let's do an example for the minus. G of x, you can just call this a y. So y is equals to negative 7 minus x to the 3rd power, and then minus 5 x to the negative 8th power, and then a y prime. The derivative of a constant is equals to 0. This one you bring the 3 down, 3 minus 1, and then you bring the negative 8 down. Negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9, and then you can clean this up. So the answer is negative 3x squared plus 40 times x raised to the negative 9th power. So that's all the basic derivative rules, and then in the next couple videos, I will give you many examples based on these rules. All right, so see you there.